Alabama's second. We'll see which speed wins out. And with that tip, Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer set a Purdue school record for their 113th consecutive start. They have started every game since they set foot on campus, including exhibition game to start. Here's Zayden Sherrill inside. And a look at the Purdue starting lineup featuring Braden Smith, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Year, and Fletcher Lawyer, who had a 30-point game against Evansville 2 games ago for Purdue.
One of the better offensive teams in the country every year, Purdue, especially in their set plays. Matt Painter can call them with the best of them.
Number 1 in the country in offensive efficiency, small sample size for sure. There's transfer Oscar Clough, who came in from South Dakota State, and the starters for Alabama and head coach Nate Oates. Taylor Bull Bowen had a good game in the Garden against St. John's. He had 17 points and 9 boards. 3 ball in and out, and a rebound on the foul underneath as Clough draws it against Sherrill. 32 times Nate Oates' teams have crossed the century mark, most recently against St. John's on Saturday. He's the second longest tenured SEC coach at his spot, and he wasted no time in making a direct impact.
Yeah, to name a better hire the last 5 or 6 years in college basketball than Nate Oates to Alabama. There's not one.
Smith finds Clough, a little jump stop before he scores. Matt Painter went and got Clough from South Dakota State last year against Bama. He had 21 and 15. And that rebound is knocked out of bounds by Bama. Matt Painter, 5-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, 4th in Big Ten wins behind Izzo, Knight, and Gene Cady. 4-2 all time against Alabama, including back-to-back wins. On that rebound, Houston Millett got a little shook up.
Tom, think about the consistency of Purdue basketball over the last 45 years. Only 2 head coaches, Gene Cady prior to Matt Painter, and now Matt Painter. And it's the Purdue way of how they play. They are rugged on the half-court defense, typically tough on the glass. And again, their offensive execution right there with the best of them every year.
2 head coaches over 46 seasons. That's 985 wins and 11 Big Ten titles. Pretty good run. But these 2, as they've done recently since the pandemic, the 2 winningest teams in college basketball that have yet to win a national title. Here's Smith off the screen, and he rattles it home.
If you play drop coverage against Braden Smith, he could chew you up over a 40-minute game. That is right in his wheelhouse, those pull-up 15-footers.
Smith had 17 in this matchup last year, 27 in their game in Toronto against Bama 2 years ago. And Holloway drills it.
That is Alabama basketball. Paint touch sets up the offense. They spray those 3 balls awfully well.
And LeBaron Philon is matched up with Braden Smith. That'll be an interesting matchup to watch on this end of the floor. Smith loses Philon, finds Clough. What a feed. No whistle, and goaltending as Trey Kaufman-Wren gets his first bucket of the season in his first action.
Tom, ball screen defense on both ends of the floor, a key in this ball game. There's what I'm talking about with Braden Smith. You drop coverage on this dude, he's going to pull up and see a big rim. And LeBaron Philon with a paint touch out to Holloway. That's Alabama ball.
And now Holloway lost Smith on the screen. Another loose ball rebound. This one off of Trey Kaufman-Wren. Purdue happy to have Kaufman-Wren back on the floor.
No doubt. You're talking about a preseason All-American as well. And Purdue with 2 of them to start the season with Braden Smith and Trey Kaufman-Wren. His coming out party last year for 4 in black was against Alabama.
Wrightson wants it back from Bull Bowen, but instead the big pulls the trigger. Just his second 3 of the year.
He's a better shooter at the 4 spot this year than what Alabama had last year with Grant Nelson. A real luxury stretch 4 offensive weapon.
And Bama in front 8-6 here early on. Smith. He's got some flash to his game. He doesn't always need it, but it's there for him. A little shake and bake at the top. And Clough lost the handle on the rebound, but it will stay with Purdue. Bama's put together a 6-0 run over the last half minute, claimed the lead.
One of several concerns for Nate Oates this afternoon was handling that front line size of Purdue.
And you see Clough leaning on Amari Allen, 6'8" freshman, down on the block. Smith lost Bowen for a second and then drew the foul.
Just a smart play by Braden Smith. There's not a smarter point guard in college ball, I know that. A little boomerang pass to the left wing and right back up top. Knowing that he has the mismatch, you open your hips against Braden Smith. This dude's getting downhill and at least getting to the free throw line.
And so Smith's got a couple coming his way. Third in Big Ten history in career assists. Mateen Cleaves is next on the list. And by the end of his run in West Lafayette, he could overtake Bobby Hurley for the NCAA career assist record if he stays on pace, but a rare 0 for 2 from the line. Now Fletcher Lawyer, his backcourt mate. Kaufman-Renn spiked it off Bowen. It'll stay with Purdue.
Tom, early it just looks like Trey Kaufman-Renn and Clough feel like, hey, we can dominate the interior of this game. And so far, everything I've seen says the same thing.
First game for Kaufman-Renn. He missed the first 2 of the season. And a little push shot for Clough falls off. Bowen, the Florida State transfer, gives it up to Reitzel Jr. Missed significant time each of the last 2 seasons with injuries.
Interesting, Purdue starting in their own drop coverage, but I like it from them because it forces Alabama for those mid-range shots, which they don't even want to take.
Challenge at the rim, and then Kaufman-Renn sneaks it in.
He just has that look in his eye, like I'm a grown man on the boards, and it's going to take more than one to hold me off.
Fifth-year senior had made 75 consecutive starts before the injury bug got him to start the season. Bowen looking for his second. And over the top of the backboard, that sends us to a timeout. Purdue with an early 10-8 lead.
Riding my bike through his front yard. You mentioned Gene Cady. A lot of folks think college basketball greatness. I remember that.
Why would you ride your bike through his front yard?
Because I was challenged to do it.
Beautiful feed, and Lawyer reverses it in for his first bucket of the night.
Matt Painter, like a lot of them, Nate Oates as well, awfully good out of timeouts, burn that pressure off from Alabama.
And now Jakari Harris comes up with the steal. Beautiful pass in transition, and Lawyer's going to bring it out. 10 of Purdue's 12 points so far come in the paint, and that'll change with the 3 from Braden Smith.
Man, what a hot start for Purdue. Not turning that basketball over, taking high percentage shots, getting that half-court defense set.
Allen steps into a triple and drills it. Amari Allen, the freshman from Green Bay, Wisconsin. This is an Alabama team that loves to push the pace and loves to put up the threes. They broke Loyola Marymount's NCAA tournament 3-point record last year in their game against BYU. Trey Kaufman-Renn answers with one of his own.
Doesn't take a lot of them, but it does look good coming off of his wrist. That time just camps out in that backside corner, waiting for that backside bomb.
They had 24 threes in that game against BYU last year. 24 of 51. That was 51 of their 66 field goal attempts. Daniel Jacobson with the screen. Now the lob. And Kaufman-Renn has it go off of his fingertips. Purdue has had a 7-footer on the roster for 13 consecutive seasons. They run another big one out there.
Yeah, look at Braden Smith. He knew exactly where he was going with that basketball before he ever caught it up top. He just punches that pain, and Trey Kaufman-Renn just sitting there. Good shooting teams, which Purdue is. There's not been a better 3-point shooting team the last 2 years than the Purdue Boilermakers. They throw strikes, and it all starts with the fastballs from Braden Smith.
Jake Benner is on the floor now for Purdue. He had started that last game against Oakland, and Trey Kaufman-Renn's absence. Corner 3 good. Houston the left.
Yeah, I see your corner 3, and I'll raise you one. That's Alabama offense, man. They space that floor, and they keep those deep corners filled. I love Purdue making Alabama work on this end.
Lawyer mid-range. And rebounded by Millett. Williamson will let it fly. Everybody can shoot. That's Noah Williamson, a senior from Latvia, transferred in from Bucknell, and Bama's closed within one.
If you can't shoot, you don't get recruited by Nate Oates.
Back to Smith. Offensive board, Purdue for Jack Benner. Zachary Harris trying to probe. A little physical. They let him play, and it rolls off the rim, and then a reach in on the rebound. Alabama's offense has come alive. The building has come alive.
Alabama awfully good in early offense, flooding those deep corners. And again, it's all set up by a paint touch by those Alabama guards. And there's the trail man we talked about, Noah Williamson from Bucknell. But Nate Oates is trying to play faster this year, Tom, because in their transition game, he's going more 5 out and keeping that entire middle opened up, getting early downhill attacks, sometimes not even with a ball screen. He's gaining, what, a couple of seconds?
Yep, he said 2 seconds, and that can make the difference in being fast to faster.
No doubt.
6-0 run for Alabama. Second in the country in tempo, according to Ken Pom, for the first 2 games. And another 3. It's a 9-0 run. Aiden Holloway. It's a veteran Purdue team. They don't seem to get rattled. And Braden Smith is their leader. Lob. In and out. Aiden Sherrill the rebound. Bama will push. Here's Holloway. Back out to Holloway. What a move. Couldn't find the rim. Smith looked right through it, left. And now Purdue will back it out and set it up. Dave Smith is as good at two-hand pump faker as you will see in college basketball. Shot clock late. It's a 5-3 ball. Zachary Harris for 3.
That is so good because the building was hot and loud. Purdue came down, moved that ball side to side, got some paint touches, kept the thing moving. Really well done. That's an older team, Tom, talking about Purdue, how to handle a hot building on the road.
Aiden Holloway to the free throw line for Alabama. Holloway, 13 preseason All-SEC. He came off the bench primarily last year for Alabama. Led him in three-point percentage. Another one looking for the lead. He's got 2 threes tonight. Bama has had 5 players connect for their 6 3-pointers.
Tom, I was obviously not in Nate Oates' huddle. He had to talk about how they're getting just beat up on the boards right now. Already doubled up, 12 rebounds for Purdue, only 6 for Alabama.
Homer Meyer has it go off the back of the rim, and now Braden Smith will reset.
It's the game within the game. The number of possessions, and again, Purdue not turning it over and dominating the glass. That's a big, big deal.
One of the best turnover rates in all of college basketball. They turn it over on fewer than 10% of their possessions, and just as we mentioned it, Trey Coffin-Wren loses his balance.
I don't understand. Yeah, well, that's Taylor Bowen to me initiated. He made a great defensive play, but act like you've done it before, and he goes right into the grill of Trey Coffin-Wren. Very fortunate, I think, these officials don't see that right there.
This is a veteran officiating crew. 2 of them worked the game in West Lafayette at Mackey Arena last year. Bart Lennox and Brian Dorsey. And Joe Lindsay rounds out the trio tonight.
Not a better home court in all of college ball than Mackey Arena. There's not one. That place rocks.
And it did last year as Purdue got his 2nd straight win against Bama. Trey Coffin-Wren on the glass. Here's Homer Meyer. He'll run some point guard when Braden Smith isn't on the floor. That won't be very often, and they'll share the backcourt. And another Purdue near turnover. And we got bodies all over the place. Meyer trying to take advantage. And a freshman from Tel Aviv, Israel, knocks down just his second three of the season.
He is the point guard of the future for Purdue once Braden Smith is done.
Aiden Holloway in traffic.
Tom, you have got to be up hot and early against any ball screen of Alabama, especially when it's Holloway or Reitzel or even Philon firing from distance.
Jimmy, 14 of Alabama's 16 field goal attempts have come from behind the arc. Meyer, mid-range. Got it.
Talked about Braden Smith's ability to hit that mid-range pull-up. This kid's got it as well. Very physical, 17 in black.
Hannah, the freshman, gives it up in the corner to another freshman, and Allen has to go off the back of the rim. Oscar Clough with the rebound. They got a mismatch inside with Kaufman-Wren on the 6'6" Hannah.
Both teams getting good looks. And Alabama, they're awfully good with their hands. A lot of deflections, but Purdue comes up with the deflection, and after the conversion of the fourth down doesn't take place, Purdue makes them pay, and that's what I'm talking about. That's simple action right there. Simple, but it's fast. Different angles. Alabama uses the ball screen, all trying to get those guards with good looks.
We've already had 7 lead changes and 3 ties in the first 11 minutes of this one. Meyer, 6'4", 215, good size at the point guard position. Kaufman-Wren, jump hook. He goes over his left shoulder with regularity. That helped him to 26 in this matchup last year.
Yeah, Alabama never took away his left shoulder last year.
Philon with the dish into the corner. Holloway, yes! That is a 4th triple for Aiden Holloway tonight.
And that is easy money for Alabama. Just simple action. They get all the eyes on the basketball in the middle part of the floor. A little bit of a fade screen for the three-point shooter in the corner.
Well, let C.J. Cox bring it up now. He went on a personal 9-0 run to win this game for Purdue, middle of the second half last year at Mackey. Another turnover. Here's Philon. Officially, they've only counted 2 turnovers for Purdue tonight, but it seems they're, despite playing with confidence, they've been sloppier than normal.
Well, and again, Braden Smith not on the floor, so Purdue looks completely different offensively.
Holloway splits him, finds Philon. And Kaufman-Wren carried across the inline. 16 of 19 field goal attempts from Alabama have been threes. We are tied at 30 in Tuscaloosa. About Miss Terry, of course, and her husband's at the game too.
I asked you, where does he sit in basketball games, and what was your answer?
Wherever he wants. Alabama is 8 of 17 from behind the arc. Here's Williamson with the drive and kick. Is their three-point rate too high tonight?
You take what the defense gives you, and Purdue's doing a good job of loading to the ball, forcing jump shots, and to your point, Alabama's taken 21 shots in the game. 18 of them, Tom Hart, are from distance.
Trey Kaufman-Wren lost Reitzel and rolls it home.
He is such a horse, Trey Kaufman-Wren. And not only physical, but skilled, 12 feet in.
Oh, rare toe, and it spins home for London Jemison.
What you don't want if you're Purdue is to make a basket and then get beat by a foot race, net to net, and that's exactly what happened to him.
Bama is 12th in the country in two-point field goal percentage at 66 through the first 2 games of the year. Here's Fletcher Lawyer off the screen. Went down, but no whistle. Still no Braden Smith on the floor for Purdue. You surprised?
I am. I'm surprised he was out this long. Now he's checking in as we talk about it. This is Trey Kaufman-Wren. He's an old-fashioned bully ball guy, but he's got some skill to him as well. One of the most unique players in all of college ball. Kind of shoves it instead of shoots it. And man, is he a force. That combination of Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer and Trey Kaufman-Wren. You talk about the value of guys that stay. We talk about guys that leave all the time. How about stayers? And that's what Matt Painter has in those 3 guys.
It's a continuity of culture in West Lafayette. Here's Reitzel. He'll drive and try to float it. Last two shots have come at the rim for Bama after living behind the arc. Braden Smith, third in Big Ten history in assists. Fletcher Lawyer bounces it to Kaufman-Wren, and he tried to work it inside. But Daniel Jacobson, Daniel the dunker, returning from a broken leg last year, was just a step ahead.
Yeah, I think one of the few mistakes TKR has made so far in this game. He should have shot that ball. That's right in his wheelhouse, that little running 8-footer in a unique game. He has a floater that's as good as a 6'2" or 6'3" guard.
Purdue only turns it over 6 times a game. They're already at 3 turnovers here with 6 minutes to go in the first half. LeBaron Philon with the okey-doke move off the side of the backboard. And now Braden Smith, open floor. Nate Oates was raving when he was talking about Braden Smith today. He said he directs traffic with the best of them. He's constantly moving the pieces on the floor. Now Jacobson finishes off the assist from Kaufman-Wren.
Well, Alabama comes over to double the ball, but the double team is too small and not intense enough. And no smash down on the backside. Really well executed by Purdue.
Holloway lost Smith for a second. Now Bowen again. He's got the green light, and it is glowing right now. That's his second 3 of the game.
He can really stretch it. He's forcing a 7'4" guy to come all the way out to the 22-foot mark on the floor. And because of that, now those guards can also find some gaps and get to the rim themselves from Alabama.
He shot 41% from deep for Florida State last year. Touch pass inside. Kaufman-Wren off the feed from Lawyer.
That's a man against boys in his first half. Trey Kaufman-Wren on the inside.
This Purdue team looks a little different than we saw 2 weeks ago at Rupp Arena against Kentucky in an exhibition.
They look like the preseason #1 team that got passed over by Houston this week. There's Trey Kaufman-Wren. You come and double without intensity and strength and high hands, that kid will pick you apart. And the separation ability right here. You stretch them out with a shooter at that 4 spot. Alabama's playing small. Taylor Bowen was playing the 5 position. But again, he's a much better shooter from distance than what Alabama had at that 4 or 5 spot last year.
He's got a 7'2" wingspan to help him out. Nate Oates said he was the X factor against St. John's, but he just committed his second and will take a seat at the 4:31 mark. Lawyer dumps it in. Kaufman-Wren working on Aiden Sherrill. Jump hook, in and out. Millette shares it into the corner. Sherrill for 3. Got it.
That's Alabama.
He is the 6th different Crimson Tide player to knock down a 3 in his first half.
And again, you come with so much speed at all 5 positions. Purdue just not fast enough to get out to the shooter.
Bama is 10 for 20 from deep. 3 for 6 from 2. And another turnover. Reitzel Jr. gets into Lawyer. They want to attack Fletcher Lawyer on this end of the court, and it ends up being a foul on the senior from...
Those Alabama guards can beat you in every area, but the game plan so far is to your point.
20 of their 26 attempts have come from behind the arc. Here's LeBaron Philon. And a whistle and a walk.
Tom just loading to the ball right there. Just got Philon out of rhythm and forced that travel call.
Bama gets 23 fast break points a game. They are better when they can hammer down the accelerator. What about Purdue? What's the right tempo for Purdue right now?
I think it's all based upon Braden Smith, how he reads the game. A high IQ, knows when to run, when to back it out, when to do the down set hike play calls. It's all about 3 and black, determining the tempo for Purdue.
8th offensive rebound of the first half. Trey Kaufman-Wren again over the left shoulder.
How good was the second step to not drag the pivot foot, but to create separation?
Philon matched up with Meyer, left him behind, and had the lob there, but decided to shoot it. Rebounded by Jacobson.
Tom, that drop coverage Purdue is a little bit of bait right now for Alabama. They don't want those mid-range shots, and they've taken several of them in this first 20 minutes.
Kaufman-Wren muscling again. And Aiden Sherrill with the rebound. Define drop coverage for those who don't know.
The big, right now it's 12 in black, is just laying back in that lane on any ball screen action.
Millette for three. Nope. And Kaufman-Wren's got another board. He's got 15 points and 7 boards in his first half.
So, Tom, as a result, he's always protecting the front of the rim, making any roll very difficult, making those guards penetrating, have to make a decision at the rim.
Well, tomorrow night, men's college basketball doubleheader on ESPN2. Number 6, Michigan takes on TCU at 9 Eastern. Then the back end of a home-and-home sees number 19, Gonzaga, take on Bobby Hurley's Arizona State team. Both available on the all-new ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Gonzaga just blowing out everybody to go to 3-0. Graham Ike had 20 and 10 against Creighton the other night. Here's Smith penetrating. Fade away over the freshman Allen. And a loose ball ends up with Purdue again. Why not? Fletcher Lawyer from deep. And Clough has another board. 9th offensive rebound for the Boilermakers. Smith finally got it. Third attempt.
That is big time by Clough, because he had a good chance to just power his way to the rim and get it on the glass, but found the spotted up shooter instead. It's just an old, well-coached team in black on the road.
Holloway got past Smith, and then Smith with the reach in from behind commits his second personal.
Well, we already mentioned Clough came in here last year before transferring to Purdue and hung 21 points and 15 boards. But right there, I mean, he's big enough, and he's at the restricted arc to just power his way up. But Braden Smith led this Purdue team in three-point shooting last year makes. And talk all you want about how great of a passer he is and a quarterback. That little dude can shoot the ball as well as anybody in that Big Ten.
Made 83 threes last year for Purdue. Here's Allen into the paint and try to wrap it around to Sherrill. 5 seconds remain on the shot clock.
What is helping Purdue in this game, they always are a square you up defensive team. They don't force one way or the other. They haven't had to change anything to guard Bama in this first half.
What do they give up with that? Here's Allen driving. No whistle on the contact from Clough. Purdue the opposite way.
The one thing you can give up in that is not sure where the help defense is going to rotate from. That's the only thing. That's the only possible disadvantage of squaring people up defensively.
We approach the 1-minute mark in the first half. About the same pace these two teams played to in a game at Mackey Arena last year. Reitzel Jr. off the glass and in. First bucket of the night for Latrell Reitzel Jr.
That's not a downhill drive. That's an uphill drive through a lot of traffic, man. Reitzel just fights and fights and fights. He just drives that drop coverage all the way to the front of the rim, and just the power and strength of Latrell Reitzel, known as one of the better shooters in the SEC, but man, a really good, determined, forceful drive by 3 in white.
Matt Painter talking with Joe Lindsay about it, and that whistle. Reitzel looking to tie this thing up. And he does so. That was first on Jakari Harris a moment ago.
Everything we thought coming in this first half has delivered. Two of the best teams in college ball going at it in November.
No Braden Smith on the floor, under a minute to play. He's got 2 personals. It's Omer Meyer running the offense for Purdue. Meyer finds Kaufman-Wren. Got it.
He is money. He is absolute money on those pocket passes and the little floater game from 12, 15 feet.
Isn't it funny the difference of shots that Purdue wants that Alabama refuses to take?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Purdue's taking what the defense is giving them, and that's right in their wheelhouse, even with a TKR on the floaters. That 12-foot floater.
Kaufman-Wren has 8 buckets tonight to lead everybody. He led Division I basketball last year with 292 field goals. And he's got 17 in the first half. This his first game out for the year. Nearly a 3-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. When does Fallon want to start? I guess
8.
now.
Yeah.
And Meyer.
Yeah, he got fouled to give.
It's the first on Omer Meyer. Now 9.5 seconds left. Shot clock off.
They can't foul now because Alabama will be at the line on the next foul.
Great defense by Meyer. Philon pushed into the backcourt. Now 5. And now 3 around Clough in traffic. Hangs, can't hit. And Purdue puts the clamps down on the final possession to take a 2-point lead into the break.
And they don't change their cool black uniforms the first time they've worn them in a while. That old school script, black and gold. Those things are sharp.
Going with the throwback for a throwback type player, Trey Kaufman-Renn, and his teammate Braden Smith. Little shake on LeBaron Philon. Trying to work inside. Couple of pump fakes. And now an extra. And he draws a foul on Philon, who had a have to forget, just 1 for 7. Braden Smith sat for 6 minutes in the first half. I can't imagine he'll sit that long in the second.
Nah, he's typically a 36, 37-minute guy at the point guard spot. And I said they did look a little different when he wasn't on the floor, and such a tough, high IQ, skilled kid that I think he's going to be a backup point guard in the NBA. He's been a terrific college player, not quite good enough to make that jump before he expires his 4 years of eligibility at Purdue. But, man, the mainstay, the coach on the floor, the quarterback, the Drew Brees of basketball for Purdue.
Well, 2 years ago, he had 450 points, 250 assists, 125 rebounds, and 60 steals. He was the second player in Big Ten history to do that. The other was a guy named Magic Johnson. And then Braden Smith did it again for a second consecutive season as Sherrill scores inside.
The kid of the ball, you could argue, has had one of the top, 4 or 5 careers in Big Ten history. That's how good he has been and continues to be.
Statistically, he has been untouchable. Kaufman-Renn shares it. Here's C.J. Cox, floater, off the window and in.
What a big-time Gortok screen on the inside by Purdue, man, just sealing that low post position. Watch the drive, but why is it open? Bam, right there. Clough just establishes position and owns his real estate to free up that drive.
And once again, a difference in styles. Alabama won't be caught dead taking a shot like that. Purdue loves him.
They love him, and they've been good at him in this game.
And sophomore C.J. Cox back at the free throw line. Has got his first point of the night. And now he makes it a 3. He had 3 consecutive threes on a 9-0 run in his game last year. The power Purdue in the second half.
While Aiden Holloway, 2 in white, did not take a shot the last 8.5 minutes of the first half.
And Philon has struggled as well.
He is Alabama's leading scorer in this game, and they've got to get him loose, Alabama does.
Big screen from Clough that caught Philon. Smith dumps it off. And a push from behind, not called. Here comes Bama the other way. Bama had a 10-minute stretch in the first half where they shot 15 consecutive threes. They outscored Purdue 24-22 in that span. Sherrill back-to-back twos, and this one rolls home, and he's going to the line.
Tom, in this game, drives are not going to be given to you. You're going to have to earn them, and this is an earned drive, another drive through traffic. That Sherrill, as good as he is on the perimeter for a 6'11 kid, he's pretty skilled. This is a slow developing drive, but he just drives the dive in front of him. Plays through the contact well.
That's the 3rd on Braden Smith. How does Matt Painter handle that with 18:24 to go?
Well, we're getting ready to find out. Now, you trust your point guard. I've said it before. You can follow analytics as a head coach or gut-a-lytics as a head coach. His gut right now says Braden Smith can play with 3 fouls.
Only one of those is a real word, Jim.
Gut-a-lytics.
Fair enough. Here's Clough looking for Smith off the handoff. Got a mismatch. Kaufman-Renn finds Fletcher Lawyer. And a poke from behind, near steal. It ends up with Purdue. Only 4 on the shot clock. Contested 3 is off the mark. And it'll be Alabama basketball coming the other way.
And the trust factor that Matt Painter has with Braden Smith, who Braden Smith told me earlier today, the only thing I do away from basketball is watch basketball. I watch all kinds of games. So in his mind, Braden Smith has played out all the scenarios you can have in a college game.
3 ball off the rim and a whistle inside. That'll be on the floor. Matt Painter went and got Oscar Clough in the offseason. They needed more rebounding and 2-point defense. They're 332nd in the country in two-point defense last year.
They will be a better running team this year, Purdue, because of their ability to jerk that ball off that defensive glass. And that only helps Purdue. Braden Smith, one of the better transition guards in the college game.
No movement on this inbounds for Bama, and nearly stolen. Back to Philon. He has struggled mightily, and he draws immediately the second on Pluff. LeBaron Philon is just 1 for 8 in this game. He came in off of a 25-point performance against St. John's.
13 foul already by Purdue. So you see Nate Oates' emphasis at halftime. Get on the glass and start driving the ball with force.
How do they get LeBaron Philon going?
That's part on LeBaron Philon. He's got to read what the defense is giving him right now. But ideally, you would love to get Philon on the move, on the catch, downhill.
This is going to be a late shot clock possession for Alabama, and Nate Oates not happy with Aiden Holloway's execution. 9 on the shot clock. (23 of Bama's 35 attempts have come from deep in this one. Here's Philon with 6. Steps through and rolls it home.
Probably the first time that Philon has handled that drop coverage well. The little side-to-side step got him by the big. And it's not so much drop coverage for Purdue, Tom. It's stationary coverage. They're sitting right in that lane.
Fletcher Lawyer all alone. That's a deep 2. He got bumped, but no whistle.
I thought that's a foul on a shooter, man. You got to protect those guys until they get back down on the floor. Matt Painter saying the same thing.
And then Bama turns it over. We'll go back the other way.
An airborne shooter's an airborne shooter until he returns to the ground. And I thought there was enough contact there by Sherrill to get the call.
Here's Braden Smith playing with 3 personal fouls. Tries to turn the corner. There are 3 white jerseys in front of him. And the rebound taken to the floor by Reitzel Jr., and he's able to get rid of it. Now no numbers for Bama as Purdue gets back. Philon steps through again, and Lawyer takes it away, then took a bump. Well, we celebrated Alabama's backcourt coming into tonight after that St. John's performance. But so far tonight, Holloway is the only one that's produced.
And Holloway again has been shut out the last 10-11 minutes of playing action in this game. Philon Jr. with one great decision, now backs it up, trying to drive through 3 black jerseys.
Smith launches a 3 and drills it. His third triple of the game.
He's a small kid, probably 5'11", with long arms and big hands. He just has a knack to get shots off in traffic.
Holloway shook him, and now a floater. Bama's taken 5 two-point shots away from the rim. They've missed off 5. Loose ball. Saved seemingly on the baseline, and indeed off of Purdue. 5-point Purdue lead.
You talk about how to manipulate ball screens. No one does it better in college than Braden Smith. Bam, his defender gets hung up just enough to get this.
Home and home. Last year, Mackey was on fire in Purdue's win. Jacobson is on Philon trying to get it inbounds, and they get it into the corner. Here's Aiden Holloway. Back to Bull Bowen. Reitzel Jr. with the shake. Now Bama is 0 for 6 on shots away from the rim inside the arc.
That's exactly what Matt Painter has schemed into this game. Making Alabama take the shots that they do not want to take.
Kaufman-Wren is battling with Noah Williamson, and Bama picks up the foul. They got a loaded SEC Network Saturday football lineup, highlighted by the primetime game of Faurot Field, Columbia, Missouri. Mississippi State at number 22, Mizzou, 7:45 Eastern. By the way, former Missouri linebacker Barry Odom and his Boilermakers will be at Washington this weekend. Trey Kaufman-Wren took a bump. That is the second on Williamson in a matter of seconds.
Well, officials, they officiate the defense and they officiate from the ground up to determine who initiated the contact, and they say Noah Williamson was the one.
Here's Fletcher Lawyer off the screen. Talking with Fletcher this morning at shoot-around about his relationship with Braden Smith. They played against each other in AAU ball and a couple of times in high school as seniors. Well, Bowen splashes it down. It's the third three for the big.
One of the few times Purdue has not got matched in the transition defense, and Alabama makes them pay.
Fletcher Lawyer said the one thing Braden Smith and I connect on more than anything else is we both love to win. We don't care about the starts. We don't care about the stats. Reitzel Jr. and Bama jumps in front of the three. And now the lob, then Duncan Daniel throws it home. Purdue got 5 back quickly. Alabama wants to run and makes as well as misses. And now Reitzel Jr. picks up the foul. It's Lawyer's second.
Well, this is Alabama basketball right here. They did a little bit of a smack screen in that backcourt to get Phylon freed a little bit. And now they are not matched up at all, and that's the power of 4 that can stretch you out. And Reitzel, boom, the confidence that these kids from Alabama shoot that ball with, the step backs, the side steps, they've got it all.
Lawyer takes a seat. Meyer replaces him in the Purdue backcourt. Phylon still hadn't gotten it going. 2 for 9 and 0 for 4 from 3. Bowen now drives on Jacobson and draws the foul. So there's the counter. Jacobson comes out, extends the defense, and Bowen immediately puts it on the floor. First personal on the 7'4" sophomore from Chicago, Daniel Jacobson.
And for the most part, Purdue's been so good. We talked about in the first half, squaring him up, just not giving an angle, not opening up hips. That time, that on-ball defender, just enough of an angle, and that's all gas, no brakes in the eyes of Alabama.
So Bo Bowen at the free throw line. 2 seasons at Florida State. Was a 45% three-point shooter there. His family fled the South Sudanese Civil War. He was born in a refugee camp in Egypt before coming stateside and played high school ball in Jericho, Virginia.
Well, Nate Oates is making this kid a tougher competitor. He's got a lot of skill about him. A long arm athlete, was 7th in the ACC last year in block shots, but he's a legit 40, 41, 42% three-point shooter.
And he knocks them both down at the free throw line. 16 lead changes and 10 ties tonight. It has lived up to the billing.
It has, Tom. I said in the open, it's great to play these kind of games and find out what you're bad at, but you want to win these games. If you're a serious national title contender chasing a 1 or a 2 seed, these games matter.
Smith gets it back from Kaufman-Renn. Shares it again. No look pass out front. And now a drive by Harris. Great defense by Bama. Shot clock at 7. Kaufman-Renn right hook. He's got an answer for everything. He's got 19 points tonight.
You know how that good is, how good that is, man. Just a pressure release kid like Trey Kaufman-Renn.
Williamson off the mark. And a foul on the rebound.
What do I mean by a pressure release guy? That the building is exploding. So you come down in the half court and just isolate what you think and I think is going to be an All-American at the end of the day. Isolation basketball, his body's better than yours, his strength is better than yours, knocks off the contact and silences the crowd. That is a pressure release move by Trey Kaufman-Renn.
3rd personal on Bo Bowen. By the way, 5th career double-double for Kaufman-Renn. He's got 19 and 10 tonight. I was talking with Fletcher Lawyer about the identity of this Purdue team, and we got to talking about the Virginia National Championship team. He said, I love that team. They won all these close games. And the other thing is that team with Kyle Guy and Ty Jerome, they never panicked late in the shot clock because of the continuity they had on the floor.
Yeah.
They doubled Smith. He gets rid of it. Kaufman-Renn now working on the freshman, backs it out. 5 on the shot clock. Going to get another late shot clock bucket. Smith leans, floats, And a foul on the rebound. Bails out Purdue again. A team led by veterans on the road against a top 10 opponent and never panicking.
I think they got Sherrill for a hold.
That's his second.
I understand you have to be physical with your box off, but that's just a wrap up. That's an easy call by Bart Lennox in great position on that baseline.
So Daniel Jacobson at the free throw line. He played one game and 1 minute last year. Broke his leg in the second contest of the season. And he misses the front end. Bama trying to reclaim the lead. And Jacobson secures the rebound.
Boy, good job by Jacobson to get from the three-point line to the front of the rim on the fly of the ball. 7'4" kid with really good movement.
They double Smith again.
Yeah.
It's out of bounds off of Purdue. Braden Smith wasn't sure about that right in front of us.
You don't see that happen often to Braden Smith. He got near that dead corner in the half court on that sidelines. And Alabama just eats it up. They don't foul. If anything in that play, Tom, you're going to get right into that cylinder. And it's not easy at all to turn over Braden Smith.
No, it's the third time it's happened tonight to go with only 4 assists. Holloway for 3. Bama back in front again. Purdue's got to talk about it. Braden Smith is communicating with his guys. You got to listen. Oscar Cluff says, I can't hear. It's a 2-point Alabama lead.
Welcome to Ashley's biggest sale of the year. During the Black Friday event, shop trending hot buys starting at just $1.99. Save up to $1,000 store-wide, or take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months. The Ashley Black Friday event, going on now.
Hey guys, Viagra is not your only option. Rose Sparks act fast and stay active longer. They aren't pills. Sparks dissolve under your tongue to reach your bloodstream for speedy results. Sildenafil starts things off strong, and Tadalafil stays in your system for longer. More confidence, more control. Rose Sparks. Connect with a provider at ro.co/sparks.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm always scouting for full-time fans. Check out this year's recruits. The teen transfer, married into the team, but acts like he's married to the team. The playmaker can get the ball through the uprights without setting foot on a field. The early season hopeful doesn't hope that this is her team's year, knows so. These fans deserve a Modelo, because football isn't really football without you.
That guard dog sure is lucky he has Simply Safe.
Word on the street is that Simply Safe has proactive monitoring. The AI outdoor camera can alert live agents of a crime before it starts, not after, unlike other security systems.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Must be nice.
Shh, keep it down. I'm trying to nap here. Simply Safe. Real security stops crime before it starts.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This is the story of the one who knows half-baked preparation leads to downtime that could bring the whole workday to a standstill. That's why she relies on Grainger. With professional-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure her team, and a whole lot of donuts, make every day a little sweeter. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When my hair started thinning, I didn't want to hear the wisecracks.
I was ignoring my hair because I was a full-time working mother, but luckily I found Nutrafol.
My hair was getting stronger and thicker.
And I finally feel like myself again.
A colossal SEC on ABC doubleheader puts the playoff into focus as the Sooners take on the Tide and the Longhorns battle the Bulldogs.
Major college football playoff and SEC implications.
Saturday on ABC.
Tom, threes are oxygen to Alabama. And Aiden Holloway's going to get this ball up and just a little bit of a flare screen up top and a good, wide, strong screen by Sherrill. Boom, ignites the building and causes Purdue to have to call a timeout.
Yeah, watch Braden Smith on the left side of the screen trying to get the attention of Oscar Clough, waving his arms above his head. And he's saying, you got to listen, you got to be able to hear me. He's looking for help, and Oscar Clough in his first year of the Purdue program says, I can't hear you. This place is too loud. There's electricity in the building, and then a tripping foul on Davion Hannah as Alabama picks him up full court. Yeah. I think when you look back at what Braden Smith is doing there, this is still only the third game of the season. His third game with Clough, he is as good a leader on the court as we have in college basketball.
There's no question. A lot of guys, you describe him as a coach on the floor. I wouldn't trust him to coach a team. I would this kid. I mean, Matt Painter and his staff could not show up to practice for a week. And Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, Trey Coppin-Wren, they keep that Boilermaker train going right down the track. That word trust is huge with every coach. And Matt Painter trusts Braden Smith as much as you can trust a young man.
Omer Meyer misses the front end of a one-on-one. Second time that's happened this half for Purdue. Boilermakers is 3 of 7 from the free throw line. Reitzel trying to create space. Here's Jemison. And an Alabama offensive rebound. They'll reset. Reitzel doesn't hold it for long. Rebounded by Jakari Harrison, and Allen pressures him into a turnover. Alabama has extended the defensive pressure 94 feet. Last 2 seasons, including tonight against Bama.
Well, Nate Oates told me last night that we went to Purdue last year and got embarrassed. And Trey Coppin-Wren has just been a wrecking ball again in this game. But in the second half, Alabama starting to match the physicality of Purdue to get back in this game.
We had a fantastic conversation with Oates about non-conference scheduling, and he said, what are you doing in the non-conference? You schedule to find out how good you are, where your holes are. It's okay to get exposed because the goal is to win the whole thing and to be playing your best basketball in March. And Holloway rolls one home. He has bailed out the Bama backcourt, which has been otherwise unimpressive tonight.
Tom, if you don't schedule like Nate Oates and Matt Painter in the month of November and December, you're wasting those 2 months. You got to find out what are we bad at, and that's exactly what you're going to find out in this game. And with Alabama's schedule going forward, they'll get exposed in every key area. But again, these two guys, Nate Oates and Matt Painter, they got their eyes set on a national title this year, and they're not shying away from that talk. And they're both good enough to do it.
Well, Oates has had the #1 strength of schedule over the last 4 seasons. And here's Braden Smith at the free throw line. It's his first make from the line tonight.
It is amazing what Nate Oates has done for Alabama basketball. Think about it. They're, 48 hours away from a big-time football game in Tuscaloosa in November. And this place is packed.
Pardon me, Smith now 4 for 6 from the free throw line. Oklahoma will be here for the homecoming matchup, and team off of a Final Four a couple of years ago. Corner 3 off the feed, no good. Jakari Harris has the rebound, and up Braden Smith will bring it up. Been tied 10 times. And now a 19th lead change, and Smith looking to the student section after that one.
There's not a ball screen coverage that he has not faced or manipulated in his career. There's not one.
Jemison couldn't answer.
Tom, the kid had 15 assists last year against Houston, who's the best on-ball defensive team there is in the country.
He made an instant impact on campus at Purdue. He had 7 steals in his first Purdue game. Philon takes it in a mid-court collision with Omer Meyer. It'll be the second, and Meyer, that's like a good pass interference call. He saved a bucket on the other end.
Watch Braden Smith come off this ball screen. It's a stagger screen up top, and Reitzel just not urgent enough or fast enough to get back to the ball. Playing behind defensively against number 3 in black is not a good plan, and Braden Smith looks right at that student section.
Was he asking for a hard hat?
He might be, but how do you not love watching a kid compete as hard as Braden Smith?
These are two blue-collar programs. Nate Oates hands out a hard hat award to the guy who accumulates the most hustle points after every game. Last time it was this guy, Taylor Bull Bowen, in 17 in the win at St. John's. Phylon.
Tough two. Alabama's taking more than they want to in this ball game, but you got to make some of them, and Phylon just did.
All of Phylon's 3 buckets have come at the rim. Now it's Holloway, Garden, Smith. No Fletcher Lawyer on the floor for Purdue. Skip pass, touch inside. Clough gives it up, and Harris fouled on his way in the paint.
Boy, Clough is a good passer, among other things. 45 in black, back on the other end. Is what I'm talking about with Phylon, man. You guys are going to have to do some uphill drives in this game, through traffic, through tough conditions, and just with force. Takes a little bit of a hit, but keeps his eyes up, locked in. Tom, if there's a guy that's not in the freshman class that could creep into the top 7 or 8, Baron Phylon could be it. He hasn't shown it all tonight, but he's got all the makings, man, of a big-time NBA point guard.
Projected middle of the first round right now. Jakari Harris has made 17 consecutive free throws dating back to last season. And I gave the announcer jinx. Apologies. Harris gets that one blocked. Here comes Bama the opposite way. 4 on 3. Harris gambled. Reitzel Jr. collects and fires. And flying in for the rebound, but the foul will be on the floor against Purdue. And that'll be on Clough, I believe. It's a 3rd on Oscar Clough. So Bama in the bonus, and Bucknell transfer Noah Williamson at the free throw line. He was a Patriot League Player of the Year last year. All defensive team had 10 double-doubles. Bama perfect from the free throw line, 6 for 6.
Tom Fletcher Lawyer checks back in for Purdue. Has not made a 3-point shot in this game. Think about it. They are 29-3 in his career if he makes 3 or more threes. Wow.
Smith guarded by freshman Amari Allen. Good size on Smith right now. Williamson's in foul trouble, reaching in a Clough. Here's Smith. He lost the freshman, left him behind, and drills the 3.
It's just not a good idea to put a true freshman on Braden Smith. I don't care if he's 6'2 or 6'8.
And now Phylon trying to probe again. He has struggled from deep. Williamson hasn't made a 3 yet this year. Clough the board. He knocked Lawyer out of the way.
Just knocking bodies out of the way Purdue has in this ball game. Now up 14 on the boards.
Smith gathered up, was knocked away, and Bowen rejected it. Here's Phylon for 3. His first of the night. Bama's tied it up with the triple. Into the hands of Smith, and he quickly launches. Trey Kaufman-Wren with the rebound. Jump hook short. Gets another offensive board. Meyer wanted to tee it up, and Smith will reset. Nate Oates is nearly to mid-court, stomping his sneakers. Shot clock at 5. Smith. And a reach in on Williamson will be his 4th.
Yeah, Braden Smith just took the game in his hands and got downhill off of a mismatch. And again, get a true freshman assigned to an All-American. Just gets hung up, not enough urgency to fight on the path to stay on it. But the very next possession, Bo Bowen sends a message, and that is Alabama basketball. Speed to the slots, rise, release, rotation, result.
Liberty Mutual customizes.
Wait,
Am I in one of those Liberty Mutual commercials where they stand in front of the Statue of Liberty and talk about how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Yes.
Huh. What happens in this one?
Seagulls.
Oh, I like it. How are you doing?
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. Always Coca-Cola.
Today, business happens virtually everywhere. That's why you need Supermobile from T-Mobile. In moments of high demand, T-Mobile's network adapts to put your business connection first.
Supermobile, the best business plan on the best network.
Before you are Arby's new steak nuggets. It is a perfect piece of steak that is then cut up into nuggets. How has no one done this before?
Arby's, we have the meats.
This is star power from the jump.
The State Farm Champions Classic, Tuesday on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
Two super fights for the ages.
It is a big fight field in New York City, baby.
Aw, made you look. Getting big money. Playboy, your time's up.
We hear it every day. I'm a safe driver. It'll never happen to me. Then in an instant, it happens. Waking up from a daze with paramedics surrounding you, trying to keep you awake. You find yourself saying, I need help. And you remember 1-800-ASK-GARY. You remember that 1-800-ASK-GARY has helped more than 350,000 people find the legal and medical help they need to get the settlement they deserve. You remember 1-800-ASK-GARY. We hear it every day. I'm a safe driver. It'll never happen to me. Then in an instant, it happens. Waking up from a daze with paramedics surrounding you, trying to keep you awake. You find yourself saying, I need help. And you remember 1-800-ASK-GARY. You remember that 1-800-ASK-GARY has helped more than 350,000 people find the legal and medical help they need to get the settlement they deserve. You remember 1-800-ASK-GARY.
Big Friday night ESPN2 men's college basketball doubleheader for you. 6th-ranked Michigan with Jackson Lindeborg played just up the road at UAB for Andy Kennedy last year, taking on TCU at 9 Eastern. In the back end of a home-and-home series, number 19 Gonzaga, probably a little underrated right now. They've been cruising. They go into Tempe to take out Bobby Hurley's Arizona State team. Both also available on the all-new ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere.
Man, you look at that Big Ten this year. Certainly Purdue, the preseason favorite, but when that thing is loaded up, Michigan State already with a good hard-fought win over Arkansas. Indiana finally got a team worthy of wearing those red and white striped breeches. They're hanging 100 on people. Illinois looks like a Final Four contender.
Yeah, Peja Stojakovic's kid had a big game last night for Illinois. Smith puts Purdue up by 2. He and Fletcher Lawyer kind of got into it going to that last time out. They're disagreeing on the offensive set. And now Smith efforts his way to a steal, but knocks it into Holloway's hands. Bo Bowen for 3 again. And a foul on the rebound. That'll be against Purdue.
Tom, Alabama has handled Purdue's defense better in the second half, but it's still causing them some problems and some frustration. Loading to the ball, staying squared up, making Alabama make plays through their jersey. Man, that has been so good by Matt Painter's squad.
C.J. Cox with the foul, his first. Here's Aiden Sherrill. Really put it together tail end of last season. For Nate Oates and company, was a McDonald's All-America coming out of prolific prep. He's from Detroit originally.
Shot right at 34% last year from the three-point line on 42 attempts. The perfect stretch 5 for this Alabama system.
Everybody stretches in this system, it seems. They're tied again for the 13th time to go with 21 lead changes.
Purdue only 7 turnovers in this game. If they can go the next 7-20 with maybe just one more, boy, that would be so good. And not let that Alabama run game get out in front of them.
They leave Smith alone. He can't make him pay, but Clough is there on the glass. Clough powers his way with the left hand.
Well, just a handful of plays in this game. Those Purdue bigs have owned their spot. Just not moving a mountain out of the way.
Holloway. Nope. And rebounded by Smith, who took a bump from Amari Allen. And that'll take us down the other side.
There's a reason why Purdue's up 41-25 on the boards. All 5 guys cracked down on that defensive glass, and that time it was Braden Smith. 5'11" at best, getting right in the middle of the fight.
Purdue's looking for its first road win against a non-conference top 10 opponent since 1982, when they went in and knocked off number 7 Louisville. Smith at the free throw line. This is first 2. He's been good lately. Top 20 teams highlight Sunday afternoon's women's basketball schedule. Number 10 NC State hosts 17th ranked TCU at 1 on ESPN. Then on ESPN2, number 22 Louisville takes on Clemson. You can always watch both on the all-new ESPN app.
A good women's game coming up after this on our air. UCLA and North Carolina both undefeated. UCLA, the game's in Las Vegas, but UCLA has sold out the arena on season tickets this year.
4-point lead for Bama. Allen no. And Trey Kaufman-Renn has the rebound.
His hands are vice grips, Trey Kaufman-Renn. He gets the one he's supposed to get, and he gets the ones that you're supposed to get.
Smith has it swallowed up by Sherrill. Purdue will have a baseline out of bounds with 16 on the shot clock as Latrell Wrightsell Jr. returns for Bama.
Well, Wrightsell checking in on a baseline out of bounds under. Most likely the play design is for him. And this next possession, I would expect Nato to try to get 3 and white, an open look.
Handoff for Smith. Goes right back to Kaufman-Renn. He shares, and Daniel Jacobson flushes another lob.
Surgical is what Braden Smith does to ball screen coverage.
6-0 Purdue run. Corner 3. Good! Bama's got an answer again. Houston Millette's second triple tonight. Trey Kaufman-Renn kicks it to Fletcher Lawyer. Got it! That is the first 3 of the night for the senior Lawyer.
Tom, how good was that? The discipline to turn down the high-low pass and find Lawyer in that slot.
Holloway. If he was a golfer, Jimmy, he'd play from the tips.
Well, look at Matt Painter again. If you're looking for a coach as a play caller, there's none better than Matt Painter, especially closing out games.
Yeah, they work it inside.
And he has gone right to that middle ball screen action, short roll, and trusting TKR to make the right reads.
Largest lead of the night for Purdue. Here's Holloway behind Sherrill. Good closeout defense by Trey Kaufman-Renn. Holloway backs it out. Gets it back. 9 to shoot. Smith stays in front of him. Turned him around 3 times. Off balance. 2! What a shot for Aiden Holloway. He's got 21.
If you're Purdue, you just pat him on the backside and say, well done, because your defense was terrific.
And now Kaufman-Renn, who missed last game with a hip pointer, is walking gingerly on that left leg. He was dragging his foot across the court.
Watch Holloway have to work. I mean, Brady and Smith is guarding his yard, man, not opening up those hips, forcing a tough one. We can't see where Trey Kaufman-Renn and that left leg, but you're right, man. He was carrying that thing initially.
Athletic trainer Chad Young will give him a look. Here's C.J. Cox now, gives it up to Braden Smith. Purdue can go into its 4-minute offense now. 6-point lead for a team that's 324th in the country in tempo. They are comfortable late in the shot clock.
And they're comfortable with this kid handling the rock.
He's got a mismatch with Bowen. 2 pump fakes and turned it over. Jacobson had it roll off his hands. Fall away, no good for Philon.
Another play where Purdue makes Alabama make a play through our chest.
Purdue's made its last 3 field goal attempts, but they turn it over last possession. They slack off Smith. And once again, it's the second time in the last few minutes they've laid off him, but he couldn't make him pay. We got a whistle on the floor. 6-point Purdue lead with 3:48 to play in regulation in Tuscaloosa.
Tom, as old as UCLA is, North Carolina, I think they're the 7th youngest Power 4 team in the country. So really interesting ball game coming up after ours out in Las Vegas.
And the Bruins have 8 seniors and graduate players, so youth versus experience. Another one coming for Daniel Jacobson. Knocks down the second. He'll be replaced by Oscar Clough. Trey Kaufman-Wren has a massage gun working on his right calf at the end of the Purdue bench. And now his left quad. They'll just work everything. He might have a few knots seeing his first action of the season tonight. 7-point Purdue lead. LeBaron Philon with the lob. Bowen with the finish.
The first time, maybe the second, that Alabama has gotten behind the drop coverage and completed the lob pass.
Nate Oates doesn't call many plays. That one was set up coming out of the timeout.
We got a huge mismatch inside. Purdue does. Do they go with the no?
Stolen away. LeBaron Philon Jr. 3 minutes to play. It's a 3-point game. Purdue has turned it over 9 times tonight. And now Matt Painter wants a timeout. Top 10 showdown coming down to the wire in Tuscaloosa.
I have a structured settlement and I call J.G. Wentworth 877 cash now.
I have an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth 877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth 877.
Call 877 cash now to get a $100 gift card for a free quote.
Tom, LeBaron Philon's a lot of things, but he's also a dog, man. When the game is on the line, this cat just climbs right up into the jersey of Fletcher Lawyer, who was way too casual with a basketball out around that timeline. And LeBaron Philon is a downhill force with the ball, and he can eat you up defensively as well. A big, big play to give a shot of momentum back into Roll Tide.
And just when you thought Purdue was going to be dancing at the Neon Cactus, Alabama has said put the dance party on hold.
You been to the Neon Cactus?
No, but if you got a private jet, we can get there tonight. Smith with the ghost from Lawyer. Turnaround fadeaway, all alone, in and out. Trey Kaufman-Wren back on the floor after the cramp. And he's earned Purdue another crack at it. Guarded by Reitzel. Shot clock at 7.
He's going to need help, is he not?
He's going to go back to that left shoulder, and he dumps it off the Clough. Blocked by Bowen. Picked up and dumped in, but a shot clock situation as C.J. Cox tried to get it out of his hand quickly.
That first shot, I don't think it touched the rim, right? Well, you're looking at clock, light, horn right now for the officials. Whatever one gives you the best look at it.
And because they caught it immediately, they can go check it out. 2:20 to play. 19 offensive rebounds as it stands for Purdue at this point. It's a veteran crew. 2 of them worked the game last year. Our thoughts and prayers of the Big Ten officiating crew. Terry Weimer, the head of officials, passed away just a couple of weeks ago, and our buddy Terry Oglesby, longtime both SEC and Big Ten official, has moved off the court to take over that role. What do you think?
Man, it is just right there. You know, is it 0.0 on the shot clock? Is the red light on? Probably can't go by the horn because of the noise in here, but in Birmingham, this is what they're looking at.
Collaborative replay in place.
I see the red light, and the ball to me is still on the fingertips. I don't think they're going to count this basket. Such a massive call to get right.
Purdue trying to hold on. They dropped to number 2 in the country despite starting the season 2-0 after a close loss to Oakland. Only won by 10. This is a Purdue program under Matt Painter that has won 30 of its last 31 November games. That is an unfathomable stat. And they're looking for their first non-conference road win against a top 10 opponent since Louisville in '82.
Tom, I'm not so sure there also wasn't some type of maybe a clock malfunction.
Well, it looks different because they go to tenths, but it doesn't move over. So when you're watching that, there's no decimal in the 2.5, 2.4 after Clough missed, and then Cox got it. This is without him. Get an explanation.
You'll have an angle with the clock and the clock. Yeah, right here. With the clock also.
And Bart Lennox is pointing out that what they're looking for is a wider angle that has the shot clock in it, because the side shot clock is recessed. It's back about 10 feet from the backboard, and so it's not in the angle that they're looking for. Jimmy, talk about how people think about conference play, how people think about seeding when it comes to the postseason. Feels like there's a lot of weight on this game, whether it be Purdue and Alabama or the Big Ten and the SEC.
No doubt. And that's Nate Oates. To me, you can see the reflection, can you not, of the red light on the backboard? And Nate Oates, when he got hired, told his athletic director, I'm changing how we schedule around here. And if the goal is to win 25 games, you tell me and I'll schedule accordingly, but my goal is to win a national championship. And that's about as close as you're going to see all year long to does he get it off or does he not. And now they're also strapped with the fact that they don't have a shot of the ball and the clock in the same frame, making it very difficult on Joe Lindsey, Bart Lennox, and Brian Dorsey.
The SEC has taken great strides to pick up the game flow. Last year, the average SEC game time was 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's the same length of the NBA games last year, which are 8 minutes longer. So they've made a few changes in regard to how the game is managed to try and pick up the pace, but this one has us waiting. Dorsey just announced the call. They're going to say it was after the shot clock. No basket. Based on the, here it is.
The call is no basket. It's a shot clock violation. The ball's still in his hand. It'll be Alabama ball on the end line.
Look at the upper right corner of your screen right there. That clock goes to red. That's the light you're looking for, and they finally found it. And that ball is clearly still in the hands of the Purdue shooter. A crucial call to get right, and they did.
Woo! Near steal, but C.J. Cox stepped on the end line. And now Purdue picks up full court. What's the purpose of picking up full court here, up 3?
They're not giving anything easy to Alabama. And you've done so good at squaring them up in the half court. And that's where you got him right now. Can you stay squared up with 2 minutes to go in this game and not let the corners get turned?
Phylon with the kick out. And the 3 no good from Millette. Braden Smith has it, 2 minutes to play.
They've had success every night with that ball in the middle third of the floor, letting Braden Smith make plays.
Smith picks up his dribble, finds Trey Kaufman-Renn. Fadeaway jump hook. And the rebound fought for and controlled by Bama. Here's Reitzel, cross midcourt. Whips it to Millette. He's going to let it fly again. Got it! And we are tied at 80. Reach in, nearly stolen. Smith now gets downhill into Bull Bowen and off the window and in. And then a foul in the backcourt on the gamble by C.J. Cox. Braden Smith's got a 27-point night going.
Layups in transition for Alabama are those threes in the slot. They flood the slots and they flood the deep corners and they really spread you out, and a big one ties it up. And then Braden Smith, getting dogged at the half court by Phylon, just keeps his drive and his determination and his bounce alive and just forces and wills his way to a 2-point make at the rim.
There's LeBaron Phylon Jr. had his coming out party against Purdue last year as a freshman with 18 points, and he misses the front end. Bama 8 of 10 from the free throw line tonight.
Tom, if you're Purdue, you cannot turn this ball over. You make Alabama cover you, and you're tight with that ball.
10 turnovers on the night, one more than their season average. Smith guarded by Bull Bowen, 10 to shoot. Braden Smith, best point guard in the country, directing traffic for Purdue. Looking for a top 10 road win. Turns around, pump fake, got it in the air! And he is talking to Bull Bowen. Braden Smith with the heady play, one of the best pump fakes in the game.
Well, that's why this Purdue team is the preseason Big Ten favorite and one of the favorites to cut down the nets about 70 miles from their home campus. You've got a guard that can close you out as well as anybody in college ball. The building is hot. Matt Painter keeps it simple, keeps the ball in the hands of Braden Smith, and with his gut, trusts 3 in black to make the play.
Braden Smith has a 19-point second half going and a 27-point night. Add to that, remember, he sat for 6 minutes in the first half. He has played every minute here in the second half. And he's played the majority of the second half with 3 personal fouls. 2-possession lead for Purdue. Phylon working with Bull Bowen. Holloway off the screen, hounded. They get it to Bull Bowen. His 3 in the corner is short, rebounded by Clough. And Purdue's got the ball with 29 seconds to go and another trip to the free throw line.
A very good job of Purdue to top block Holloway. And I even believe Reitzel, not letting them run to the ball and fire a 3. They got on top of him, and therefore Bull Bowen was the only guy left open.
And now Oscar Clough goes to the free throw line. He took a massive leap sophomore to junior year at South Dakota State. He started his college career at Washington State. And now Purdue's got another big, they can center it around. He's got another free throw coming.
Tough guys and tough teams, Tom. They want to be fouled in this situation. And we've seen the toughness of Braden Smith, TKR, in this game.
Door's still open for Bama.
Yeah, it is.
Tide have made 16 threes tonight. Phylon, no. Clough's got another board. Jimmy, we left Rupp Arena a couple of weeks ago after Purdue got outplayed by Kentucky.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of concerns in a game that didn't count, to be sure, for Matt Painter. But it was the post play that got exposed that night.
It was, and the athleticism of Kentucky got after Purdue that night. Not tonight. Alabama is as athletic as you're going to find in college basketball this year. And they have done a great job of squaring Alabama up and staying in front of the basketball for the most part, forcing Alabama out of the rhythm offensively to take shots they normally don't want to take. Braden Smith is a lot of things. He is one tough son of a gun at the end of the day. And those dudes win.
And Purdue has out-rebounded Alabama tonight by 25. Another one coming for the 6'11" Oscar Clough. And with 20.4 left, Purdue's got a touchdown lead on Bama. Here's LeBaron Fallon Jr. Reitzel wide left. And they're going to give a timeout to Millette, who took it into the first row after hopping over the photons. Braden Smith lets the game come to him until he decides to take it over. He took it over the second half.
No doubt he did. I mean, find a better point guard in college basketball and let me know, because I think this kid right here is at the top of the list. What can he not do? He is dynamic, coming off almost as a combo guard into jump shots, but he has controlled this game off the bounce. And he doesn't over dribble, but he moves that ball exactly where it needs to be. And it's been a long time, or it will be a long time, since I think you'll see another college guard manipulate the defense into his hands as well as Braden Smith does.
Purdue's had the Big Ten Player of the Year for 3 consecutive seasons. Smith trying to be the second to go back-to-back with Zach Edey. They were preseason #1 in the AP poll for the first time in program history this season. And Jimmy, you mentioned the Final Four is just down the road at Lucas Oil in Indianapolis.
Well, you're going to learn a lot, both teams are, from this game. But I mean, Matt Painter has come out and said, this is our best chance under me to win a national title. And if you're going to win a national title, I think you've got to be on that 1 or 2 seed line. It's shown out the last couple of years. And the value of playing in games like this is one thing. The value of winning these games is another, because this is a resume win for Matt Painter that will carry the entire season and may be huge come Selection Sunday.
And this will be their 44th win in their last 47 non-conference games. Nate Oates coming off of a big win against St. John's in the Garden. Unable to build on it. He said we weren't perfect against St. John's. They exposed us, and he expected to get exposed at some point tonight. And they did. Without Purdue outscored them by 5 in the second half. A 7-0 Boilermakers run to salt this one away. And Purdue will wave goodbye to Tuscaloosa with a top 10 win on the road against a non-conference opponent for the first time in a generation. 87-80 is the final. Braden Smith takes it over in the second half. And Purdue goes to 3-0 on the season.